Zion Carter walked into the elegant restaurant dressed in a navy blue tailored suit, expecting nothing more than a quiet dinner after closing the biggest deal of his career. But instead of congratulations, he got discrimination. The waiter looked him dead in the eye and said, "We don't serve people like you here." Zion didn't shout. He didn't beg. He just smiled. Because karma was already on the way. And what happened next would shake the entire restaurant to its core. Zion Carter wasn't just another customer. He was a 33-year-old tech entrepreneur, founder of a startup recently valued at over $50 million, and a man who had risen from public housing and poverty to the top floors of high-rise boardrooms. Humble, composed, and quietly brilliant, Zion had always carried himself with the quiet confidence of someone who had earned his peace the hard way. That evening, after a long investor meeting, he wanted to treat himself. He walked into Maison Devon, an upscale, French-inspired restaurant in downtown Chicago known for its exclusivity and expensive wine list. He stepped in, greeted the hostess with a calm nod, and requested a table for one. The hostess, young, nervous, was about to grab a menu when Ethan, a waiter with sharp features and slicked-back hair, cut in between them. "I'll handle this," Ethan said, flashing her a tight, warning smile. Then he turned to Zion. "Sorry, sir. We're full tonight. You'll need a reservation." Zion glanced around. The restaurant was maybe at 60% capacity. Several booths sat empty. A couple had just walked in without a reservation and were being seated right beside them. "Really?" Zion asked, without raising his voice. "I was told walk-ins were accepted." Ethan's fake smile vanished. "Yeah, we do take walk-ins, but not tonight. Company policy." Zion tilted his head. "Can I speak to the manager?" Ethan chuckled. "You're looking at him." Zion nodded slowly. He didn't argue, didn't push. He reached into his inner jacket pocket, pulled out his phone, and opened the video recording app. He calmly placed the phone on the hostess stand. "I understand," he said. "I'd just like to document that I was denied service in a half-empty restaurant. For policy reasons." Ethan smirked, not taking the bait. "Feel free. But filming doesn't change the rules." The restaurant had quieted. Nearby guests overheard everything. A family dining with their children exchanged uncomfortable looks. A young couple glanced up, clearly disturbed. But no one said a word. Just then, from the back of the restaurant, a firm female voice cut through the silence. "Ethan, my office, now." It was Miranda Vega, the actual manager and part owner. She had seen everything through the restaurant's internal camera system. She had been watching for weeks as Ethan acted dismissively toward certain guests, always non-white, always subtle enough to deny. But this time, he went too far. Ethan disappeared into her office. Miranda walked straight to Zion. "Sir, I deeply apologize. You are welcome here. Please allow me to seat you myself." Zion looked at her, calm but firm. "Thank you, but I'll pass. This is not the first time, and I'm tired of forgiving." He picked up his phone, nodded politely to the guests, and walked out, leaving behind a restaurant frozen in discomfort. But Zion wasn't angry. He was calculating, because Miranda didn't know who he really was. 3 weeks later, a team of corporate inspectors arrived at Maison Devon, clipboards in hand, suits, authority. They were from Horizon Capital, the parent company that had just acquired a 40% stake in the restaurant group. And one of those suits, sitting quietly in the corner of the inspection team, was Zion Carter. Turns out, this wasn't just a dinner gone wrong. Zion was one of the lead investors looking to expand his real estate and hospitality portfolio, and Maison Devon had been a target for months. That night wasn't a random visit. It was a test. Ethan had failed, spectacularly. The team pulled footage, reviewed records, and interviewed staff. Miranda, though shaken, told the truth. She took responsibility, provided reports of past complaints Ethan had received, and admitted that her delay in taking action earlier had been a mistake. The result? Ethan was immediately fired, not just from Maison Devon, but blacklisted from every partner property owned by Horizon Capital. Miranda was given a formal warning, but retained her role after promising a full anti-discrimination overhaul, which Zion himself would oversee. 3 months later, Maison Devon held a grand reopening. The new theme? Everyone's welcome at the table. Miranda made sure it wasn't just a slogan. The staff was retrained. The menu was refreshed. Local artists of color were invited to perform every weekend. A portion of profits was now donated to diversity initiatives in the city. Zion didn't just attend the grand reopening. He hosted it. He stood at the center of the dining room, this time surrounded by business partners of all races, a live jazz band, and over 100 guests. He raised a glass and smiled. "Sometimes," he said, "being denied a seat is exactly what you need to build your own table." Applause filled the room. And this time, when Zion sat down to eat, no one dared deny him his place. If you've ever felt disrespected because of who you are, remember, the tables always turn. Subscribe to Equality Unbound for more powerful, true-inspired stories that uncover injustice, deliver truth, and remind us all what real justice looks like.